It's 7 a.m. and this is a good time to start, partly because the roads are quiet, and partly because this is a good time for filling up with fuel. You see, in a morning when it's cold, and it is very cold this morning, fuel is more dense than it is on a hot afternoon, so you're getting a little bit more for your money. One thing though, don't, whatever you do, forget to take any unnecessary weight out of the boot. Right, I've got 19.8 gallons in the tank and a journey of 800 miles ahead of me. That means averaging 40.4 miles to the gallon. A tall order in a car as powerful as this. Even Audi say that what I'm attempting to do is impossible. They say this car will only do 37 miles to the gallon and that I won't make it back. There are one or two things I can do to help though. You have to make sure the car cuts as smooth a hole as possible in the air. Driving with the window down, for instance, increases fuel consumption by 5%. And to make matters worse, you can't use the air conditioning either, because that does even more damage. In a Honda Civic, for instance, if you get 36 miles to the gallon normally, you turn the aircon on, that drops to 30 miles to the gallon. You lose 6 mpg. In fact, you shouldn't use any electrical gadgets unless it's absolutely necessary. The heated rear window's a complete no-no, and heated seats? Forget it. Happily, the radio uses such a small amount of power that I can use that, but surveys have shown that fast, aggressive music causes drivers to grow lead feet. So thrash metal doesn't just hurt your ears, it damages your wallet as well. On this journey then, it'll be Radio 2 all the way.
So, was that a hit again in the 90s, in 95, 97 or 99?
97.
I don't know, I'll go for 95.
No, it was 97.
You see?
Bad luck. Sad Cafe.
There's one interesting thing I've noticed, that when I started I had the cruise control on and I was averaging, according to the trip computer, about 32, 33 miles to the gallon. Since I've taken the cruise control off and I'm using my own foot, I've got it up to an average of 40 miles to the gallon, which is nearly good enough. It's amazing how much thinking and concentrating you have to do to drive economically. You've got to think, is that guy going to pull out? I've got to match my speed to him, lifting off. You must never, ever brake. Ever, ever touch the brakes. Ever. If people concentrated this hard to drive fast, no one would ever crash. Ever. This is the northeast, where there are many hills, and hills are a big problem for the economy-minded motorist. The trick is to build up speed before you get to an incline and then try not to accelerate when you're on it. So, thrash metal for going down a hill, and then the carpenters for going up the other side. Reach the crest and off, and I've still only done 39 miles to the gallon. What more do you want from me? 6 hours on the road. I think I do want a wee. But I can't stop because that would mean starting the engine again, and starting an engine uses a load of fuel. So, New York taxi driver trick, and you're not allowed to watch. Now, if I'd come to Edinburgh in a petrol-powered Audi A8, I'd need to find a filling station. But thanks to the diesel engine in this one, I don't. The thing is, though, it might not need a drink, but I do. So, I think I'll find somewhere to stay, and we'll pick this up again in the morning.